All right, so the first lesson in kind of extending how we work with quadratic equations is knowing how to simplify square roots. You're going to have to be able to work with a square root in order to do the quadratic formula. We will work with these square roots first. First, we have to know our perfect squares. Our perfect square list is going to be invaluable to us. So if you want to pause and get those perfect squares lists down, you guys know these. I'm going to go ahead and do them. So 1 times 1, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81, 10 squared is 100, 11 squared is 121, 12 squared is 144, and 13 squared is 169. So, when we're working with simplifying a radical, the first thing or square root, the first thing you want to look for is the biggest perfect square that divides evenly into the number of your radical. So if we were, for example, working with 48, I wouldn't start at the bottom of my list. I'm not going to start at 1. Not at all. I'm going to start up here and say, where would 48 fit into my list? Well, 48 would be here, right under 49. And then I'm going to go backwards. So then I'm going to say, does 36 go under 48? Okay, no, 36 doesn't go under 48. And if that's something you need to test on your calculator, test it on your calculator. Do 48 divided by 36. And you get a decimal there. So do the same thing for 25. Does 25 go under 48? Nope. Does 16 go under 48? And 16 does go under 48. 16 goes into 48 3 times. So when you do that math, 48 divided by 16, you get 3. And since that's a whole number, lovely. So what we're going to do is rewrite our problem like this. Square root of my perfect square times 3. So 16 times 3 is the same as 48. And then you can take the square root of 16. It is 4. So 4 square root of 3 is the same as square root of 48. You can absolutely test that in your calculator. So if you pull up Desmos or at whatever calculator you're using, you can do the square root of 48 and make sure that's the same ugly decimal as 4 square root of 3. And it is. So that's how we're going to simplify radicals. Okay, let's do some practice. I'm going to rewrite that perfect squares list right up here so we can reference it. You definitely don't have to do that because you have it at the top of your page there. But it was 1, 4, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared, 7 squared, 8 squared, oops, 64, 9 squared, 10 squared, 11, 12, 13 squared. Okay, there's our perfect squares list. So, for square root of 12, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to look, okay, 12 is less than 16, so it's going to be in here. So I'm going to look at my list. Does 9 go into 12? Nope. And again, if you need to check that on your calculator, 12 divided by 9. 1 1/3, 1.33. Nope. Okay, 12 divided by 4. 4 does go into 12. So I'm going to rewrite 12 like this. Square root of 4 times 12 is 4 times 3. And then the square root of 4 is 2. So I can take that square root away when I'm saying the square root of 4 is 2. And that's simplified. You're not going to change that square root of 3. The square root of 3 is a nasty decimal, so you don't need to change that. Okay, 27. 27 it would go here, right here, just above 25. So I'm going to go backwards in my list. 25 does not go into 27. 16 does not divide into 27 evenly, but 9 does. 27 27 is 9 times 3. The square root of 9 is 3. And the square root of 3 we can just bring down. I'm going to double check that one. So square root of 27, and see if that's the same as 3 square root of 3. Any division that you need to do on the calculator is absolutely fine. All right, next example, 63. Okay, 63 goes right here, right below 64. So I'm going to go down my list, and I'm just going to show you this one on the calculator, since it's a little bit bigger of a number. So on my perfect squares list there, which I can't see anymore, let's make that so it's visible. So working with 63 there, if we want to break it down, 63 again was less than 64, so we could divide it by, 49, and it doesn't go in. We could divide by 36. Again, we get not 6, 36. Again, we get a decimal. So down our list, 25. Decimal again, 16. 63 divided by 16. Still doesn't go in evenly, 9. And there's our perfect square that goes in evenly. So 63 divided by 9 is 7. So I'm always going to put that perfect square first. And then the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 7 is not a nice number. Okay, let's look at 98. We know we're going to break it. 98 is here by 100. 81 is not going to go in. 64 is not going to go in. Let's try 49. So 98 divided by 49 is 2. So 49 does go into 98. So I can break down 98 into 49, square root of 49, times square root of 2. And then the square root of 49 is 7. Awesome. Going here. Square root of 8. 8 is not a perfect square. 8 would be here, just less than 9. The only numbers below it are 4 and 1. But 4 does go into 8. So we can break 8 into square root of 4 times 8 is 4 times 2. So the reason that we keep kind of baby-stepping this, every step is equivalent to the one above. So square root of 4 times square root of 2 is square root of 8. And then the square root of 4 is 2. Awesome. All right. Square root of 45. So 45 would be here. Ooh, let me pick a color I haven't used yet. 45 is here, just less than 49. 36 is not going to go into 45. 25, we can check always. 45 divided by 25. 1.8, that one doesn't go in. 16 we could try. 45 divided by 16. Nope. 45 divided by 9. And there it is, 45 and 5. So 45 we can break up into the square root of 9 times the square root of 5. I always put my perfect square first so I can break that one down. Square root of 9 is 3. And again, you can check it by doing square root of 45 in your calculator and square root of 3 square root of 5. 40 we did in that first example. We did 16 and 3. Since you didn't have to write that one out, since it was typed for you, it's not a bad thing to write out, just to practice. Square root of 16 is 4.
square root of 3.
Now, any number you have on the outside, whether it's a negative or another number, you're just going to bring that down, and that's going to be part of your final answer. 75, I know, as I'm looking, here's where 75 would be, but as I'm looking through my perfect squares list, I know 25 is going to go into 75. And it goes in 3 times. Square root of 25 is 5. Okay, go ahead and take a look at this simplifying square roots practice here. What I would like you to do is first write out your perfect squares again. It's really good practice. And then once you get those square roots or those perfect squares written out, try those 9 problems. And once you have those done, unpause the video and I will have, or look at the next video and that will have the solutions posted. It's just going to be the solutions with this step in the middle. So please make sure you have tried it before you take a look at it. Awesome.